So today we've done single vowels, and we've done vowel plus E last time, and today we're going to learn R-controlled vowels. So this is kind of an interesting thing. So if I were to ask you to write kind of across the single vowels, would you write the single vowels for me?
Should I include Y or no?
No, let's just do the vowels that we have on the staircase, okay? Perfect. So you have A, E, I, O, U. Okay. Now, when we did the vowel plus E, do you remember that? What do you remember about that?
It made it say its letter name instead of the sound.
On the staircase, right? So the E makes the single vowel say its letter name. So can you tell me the sounds of the single vowels just here?
A.
That's the name. Okay.
Ah.
Right. Okay. You're correct. Okay. Okay. So the only one that sometimes is the A, right? Okay. So we can, and I'm going to write this, then put an E with each of these. So I have A-E, E-E, O-E, and U-E. And usually, except for the E-E, there's a consonant between the single vowel and the E. So what does A consonant E say?
A.
And E-E?
E.
And then?
I.
And then?
O-U.
Perfect. Now what I'm going to do today is we're going to take those single vowels A, E, I, O, and U, and we're going to put an R right after them, okay? And we're going to learn about these very old Anglo-Saxon spellings of vowels. So I always think it's kind of interesting to see that I can start with the single vowels and then I can add 5 more sounds by just adding an E. And I can take each of the single vowels and just add an R to it. Okay? So what do you already know about when a single vowel has an R right after it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. I think
maybe.
But maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So once we do this, I think you'll know that you do. But you haven't kind of brought it to that place in your mind where it's an idea that you can talk about, okay? Which is this whole thing for you, is how can we take the things that you know about reading and spelling and make it conscious, make it like able to talk about it and to explain it to other people, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to use these 2 words, H-A-D and H-A-R-D, okay? So just visually, what is the same about H-A-D and H-A-R-D?
The first 3 letters? Oh no, every letter besides the R.
Is the same, right.
I don't know, I thought that said hatter.
Okay, okay. So this word says had, and what is the sound of the A in the word had?
Ah.
And this word says hard. Is the A sounding the same in had?
R.
It's saying R. So when an A is followed by an R, that R is a very, very strong marker. It says to the single vowel in front of it, your sound is going to be different, okay? So now what we have is we have this word, these 2 words, P-O-T and P-O-R-T. You can read those, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
Pot and port.
Okay, so you read that accurately, okay? So how is the O sounding in pot?
Ah.
Is it still saying that ah in the word port?
Saying or.
It's or, isn't it? So these vowels, these R-controlled vowels, are digraphs. We've done consonant digraphs where it's 2 letters and 1 sound.
Well, we've also done vowel.
Yes, we have done vowel digraphs. You're right.
O.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely. So this is another vowel digraph, okay? Okay. So here is another pair of words, P-E-T, P-E-R-T. You can read them for me, right?
Pet and pert.
Pert. Do you know what pert means? It's when kind of bright and high energy, okay? So how is the E sounding in pet?
Eh.
And how is it sounding in pert? Can you hear the at all?
Wait, what? Can I hear the what?
Can you hear the at in pert at all? If we said the sounds in pert, could you say?
No.
You don't hear it at all, do you?
Pert.
It's almost as if it isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Can we have a word without a vowel, though? No. So ER says, and I make these diagonal lines like this to make the sound of, so it has the sound of okay? Here are 2 more words. You can read these for me, can't you?
Cub
Uh-huh.
and curb.
Now you tell me what's happening in this word.
The R is making the U say
Exactly, and it's taking the sound of the U away completely, isn't it? Okay, so UR is also saying And then here are 2 final one final pair of words. Okay, what are the words?
Flit and flirt.
Explain it to me, please.
The R is making the I say instead of I.
Perfect. So do you now know what R controllable vowels are? How would you explain that to me?
I would say that R is kind of like an E in the sense of if it's next to a vowel, it can make it makes it say a different sound.
Yes. You said next to. Can it be in front of it, or does it have to be
It has
after
to be
it?
after.
Okay, which is actually the same as the E, right? The E has to come after the single vowel to make it say its letter name. So this is another way that we can make a whole set of vowels using those single vowels. I find that kind of interesting. So now there are actually these 3, ER, UR, and IR. What do they say? They all say And the reason that we have those spellings is that when English was first being written down, the scribes who wrote it down, some of them used ER, and some of them used UR, and some of them used IR. And that kind of got like passed down, and we still have that same thing. ER usually comes at the end of a word, like mother, father, sister, brother, painter. And it actually can mean a person who does something, like painter is someone who paints, and baker is someone who bakes. So ER not only has a sound, but it can have a meaning. And when I say painter, is that a noun or a verb?
No.
I agree. It's someone who paints. Now, there's one other thing that ER can do. When you say 2 things, when you're comparing 2 things, so we can say something is hot, it's a hot day, but tomorrow will be hotter. What happens when I put that ER as far as meaning hotter?
Means more.
Exactly. So ER not only has a sound, but
Meaning.
it has a meaning. That's pretty cool. And the others, the UR and the IR, do not have that. Do not have it. It's just the ER that does that. And then R and OR are kind of different sounds, but collectively, together, they are all the R controlled. Okay? I think you've got this idea, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the cool thing about this is that you can have syllables, and we've talked about syllables, right? Syllables are a part of a word, and the syllables are named and based upon the kind of vowel. So we can have a syllable that has a single vowel, and that can, and I'm going to teach you one of those today, closed. And then you can have a vowel plus E syllable, and you can have an R controlled syllable. Okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to have you, because this is our model lesson for all of these teachers. So now I just taught you this, right? So I'm going to ask you to spell some words for me, okay? Okay. Okay, so here is our first word. The word is darn. To darn socks means to kind of repair them.
Never heard that word.
Okay, good. It's when you have a hole in your socks and it's like sewing the hole up. You darn the socks.
I'm not really sure.
Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so I agree with, you've got the D, and you've got the R, the R control, and you have the N. What are you thinking of for the E there?
I don't know. I've never heard that word. I would have if it was just without the E, so maybe it just had an E. I don't really know.
Okay, so E is a very popular spelling letter, but it has to be there for a reason. And in the word darn, it doesn't have any job, so we don't have an E in there. Okay? Okay. How about the word cork? And you know what cork means, right?
It's like a material.
Yes, it is. And it's very, very light and
Spongy.
Spongy, yes. And I agree with all of that in that spelling of the word cork. How about the word fir?
Like the tree?
Yes, it could be like the tree. And how would you spell it if it's the tree? You are correct.
Or
F-U-R is an animal's hair. Okay, good. How about the word porch? Perfect. How about the word torn? It was torn. Okay, I agree with that. And the last one is smirk. Do you know what smirk means? Do you know what it means?
yeah, isn't it like a grin or a smile?
Smirk it is a facial expression, so it's like grin
Yeah.
is a facial expression. But smirk is kind of like, has a thing of judging something negatively. I'm going to use my learnersdictionary.com because I'd like to, and of course I've turned this off, but I'll turn it on and we'll look up the word smirk because I want to be really exact with the meaning, okay? Okay. So one of the things, may I use a pen? One of the things is that students, and I'm not saying this is you because I don't think it is you, get confused about is where is the R in relationship to the I? So these two words are kind of a really good exercise in looking at that. So in this first word, where is the R in relationship to the I? Is it before it or after? So is it acting as an R-controlled vowel there?
No.
No. And in the word bird, where is the R? Before or after the I?
After, and it controls the I to make it say
Exactly. So would you read this word?
bird and bride.
Perfect, perfect. So have I shown you learnersdictionary.com yet?
No.
This is a really good dictionary, okay? Because it's really impossible to understand the definitions. They have really good definitions in it. So I'm going to go here to Learners Dictionary. .com, I think. Okay. So, and we're going to look up the word smirk here. Okay. So, oh, this is interesting. So, you were partially correct, weren't you? Okay, so what does it say?
To smile in an unpleasant way because you are pleased with yourself, glad about someone else's trouble, etc.
Okay, so was that kind of derisive or put down thing? So you're smiling at yourself, but in an unpleasant way. And usually we think of smiling as pleasant, don't we? And why is it unpleasant?
Because you did something good, or something good happened to you, or something bad happened to someone else.
Exactly. The other thing, and this is, I really like, have we done Etem Online?
No.
Okay, Etem Online is another really good etim. It's because it's etymology. Okay. I'm having a hard time typing on my phone. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm not going to be able to find it on here. We'll do it after we finish, okay? But what it is, Etem Online can tell you where this word came from and how old it is. The origins. And that's always really interesting. Okay? Okay, so we did some spelling. And now what I want to do, this is really cool. So we haven't done any phonemic awareness for a while, but we did it at the beginning, where we said a word and then left out a sound. Okay, so I'd like to practice that, but we're doing it with complex one syllable, which means a word like this word, F-A-S-T. And what we have is we have a single consonant, a single vowel, and then a consonant blend, which is two consonants next to each other. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's in those consonant blends that I'm going to be taking out or substituting a sound, okay?
Nice.
I know, I'm nice to you, right? Okay, so here's the first word, fast. Can you say it for me?
Fast.
Instead of saying sake,
Fact.
you got it. Lest.
Lest.
Instead of safe.
Left.
Crisp.
Crisp.
Instead of say
Crimp.
You got it. Say tract.
Tract.
Instead of the k, say p.
Tract.
You got it. Belt.
Belt.
Instead of the ol, say n.
Can you say it again?
Sure. Say belt.
Belt.
Instead of the ol, say n.
Bent.
You got it. Chant.
Chant.
Instead of the n, say p.
Champ. No. Champ.
Okay, let's say the sounds. Champ.
Champ.
No, chant.
Chant.
Chant. Let's say the sounds.
Ch. N. N.
So instead of the n, say p.
Chant. Chant.
That's it. Say it again. What is it?
Chapped.
Chapped, like chapped lips. Okay. Say the word tent.
Tent.
Instead of the n, say x.
Text. Text.
You got it. I have to do a few more because I see this is a little challenging and I like to challenge you.
Yeah, it's weird because you're moving like one of the main parts of the word, so.
Yes, yes. Okay. Beeped.
Beaked.
Instead of the p, say s.
Beast.
Whisk.
Whisk.
Instead of the s, say mm.
Wick. Wicking.
Let's say the sounds. Whisk.
Whisk. It's.
Instead of the s, say mm.
Wicking. What is it?
Wink. Okay. Okay. Let me see. There is another one that I wanted to do. Okay.
Wow.
Did you like that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, let's try this. This is taking out sounds, just taking out sounds. That was substituting sounds. This
Okay.
is just deleting sounds. Say just.
Dressed.
Say it without the s.
Jet.
Say swamp.
Swamp.
Say it without the
Swamp.
Say faint.
Faint.
Say it without the
Fate.
Fate. Fate. So what you did there, I think, is you went for the sounds, not the spelling, didn't you? Okay. Say bask
Bask.
without the s.
Back.
Say limp
Limp.
without the
Lip.
Say nest
Nest.
without the s.
Net.
You got it. You got it. Okay. So, how are you for energy? We've learned a new kind of vowel. We did some phonemic awareness. We did some spelling. We did some reading. And we've gone for about 25 minutes. Can I teach you about some syllables?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. What I want to do is I want to look at where I wrote this down, frankly, which is probably here. Yes. Okay. So we have single vowels, and the single vowels have a specific sound on the staircase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And single vowels can be in two different types of syllables, one of them that we're going to learn today, and they're called closed syllables. I don't know if you remember back to when we first learned the consonants. The consonants were called closed syllables. Do you remember that? Okay. So the reason a consonant is called a closed syllable is because we take some part of our mouth, we close up.
Oh, yeah. Instead of an open syllable where your mouth is more open.
Exactly. And the vowels are open phonemes, okay? So in a syllable, if you have a single vowel that is followed by a consonant, we call that a closed syllable because consonants are closed phonemes. So here is a word. And by the way, this is kind of an interesting piece of information. The most common syllable in our language is a closed syllable. So if you know these kinds of syllables and that the single vowel says its staircase sound, it will open the most number of words for you to read that you may not know, but you can think about. Okay? So in this word, how many vowels are there? You want to underline or circle the vowels for me? Exactly. So we have 3 vowel sounds. That means we have 3 syllables. Okay? Now, another thing about reading multi-syllable words is we have to decide where do we break the syllables. Okay? And there are really common patterns Okay. And you know this one. Explain to me why you decided to break them
Because
there.
you wouldn't say fantastic.
Okay, it
You
would
say
sound weird.
fantastic.
Okay. So you know the word, but here's an interesting thing. If I didn't know the word, this is how I would approach it. I would write a V over all the vowels. So will you write a V over the next vowel? And C's between the two of those, between these two. Put for the consonant. Put a C above the N, because that is a consonant, and a C above the T. That's a consonant. So when we have this pattern, V,
Favrink.
C, C, V, the most common way of breaking those two parts of the word into syllables is between the consonants. Okay? So we can also see it right here. Here we have V, C, C, V. So we know we break it between the S and the T. Okay? So F-A-N is a syllable, and because it has a single vowel followed by a consonant, we know that's a closed syllable, and so we know how to pronounce it. So let's try some other words. And what I want you to do, I've tried to get 3-syllable words, which you might not know, but you probably know them all. So that's a vowel. Okay, you're breaking it there. Now, okay, tell me why you didn't break.
Because it's a digraph.
I see. You can't break CH apart. I agree with you. Okay, so we have how many syllables in this word?
3.
Do you know the word?
Enrichment.
Yes. And in each of those syllables, the vowel is saying a staircase sound, isn't it? Okay. How about, oh, this is going to be cool. You're going to know this word, but it'll be interesting to look at it. That's an R. Okay. Mark the letters that are vowels for me in that word, please. Okay. So I agree with the I in this word and the E here. But here we have an E and then it has an R after it. Is that a vowel digraph? ER?
Yes.
So let's circle both of them as one. And how about this AR? It's also an R controlled vowel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have how many vowels in this word?
4.
So we have 4 syllables. Okay, so where are you going to break it? Okay, so this first syllable is a closed syllable. DER is
Is not, because it's a vowel and right after that it ends.
You got it. It's an R controlled syllable. Perfect.
So even though that's a consonant, it's still open because it's considered a vowel.
It's part of the vowel. You got it. And then GR, is that a closed syllable or an R controlled?
R controlled.
And then the last?
Closed.
And so what is this word?
A word.
Do you know this word?
Kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah. And if it were a word that you didn't know, if you know how to pronounce the vowels and
You know how to say it.
you know how to say it. I'm going to do one more and then we're done, okay? Because you've really paid attention and we've gotten a lot done. Oh. Will you mark your vowel sounds, please, in this word? What were you thinking?
I don't know, I just saw that missing.
Okay, missing the
The dot.
Dot.
But I've seen it written like that.
Okay. It was me going fast.
So. All the vowel sounds,
Yes.
then that's all of them. This is not a vowel sound.
The
CE is not a vowel sound.
No, it isn't.
It's a vowel. But this is a vowel,
Uh-huh.
but it doesn't make a sound.
That's
A
true.
vowel.
It doesn't. And it has 2 jobs in this word. It's making the C say S. What else? What other letter is it working with? Can it jump
The
over?
U.
The U. So actually, that's a vowel, U-E, okay? And you can exactly kind of squiggle it together. Okay. So now I'm going to put, we have the first vowel, and then we have consonant, consonant, consonant.
It'd be in,
Okay.
tro, do.
Okay. So TR is a blend, and we usually don't break it up. So we're going to separate the N and the T so that the TR stays together.
And then you do that right there.
And then we do here. So this first syllable, what kind of syllable is it?
Closed.
I agree. D-U-C-E. What do you think we should call that syllable?
Open.
Well,
Well,
what's the vowel in it?
there's no vowel at the end.
Yes, there is.
Oh,
U-E.
E.
The E comes over and makes that U say its name, so the vowel...
But then this says.
Yes, it does. The E has two jobs.
Mhm.
Okay? Okay. E can do that. It can have a lot of jobs in a word. So D-U-C-E says deuce. And this is a vowel plus E syllable.
So
Okay.
it'd be open.
Well, no. Now I'm going to tell you about open. Okay? So an open syllable happens to be this TRO. Okay? What kind of vowel is in TRO? Is it a...
Single.
It's a single vowel.
That's why it's not open. It's closed.
It's got a C on it, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And this is open because it has an open vowel at the end. Usually, how does O sound on the staircase?
Ah.
And is it saying ah in tro?
No.
It's
Oh.
saying O, it's saying its letter name. So when a single vowel comes at the end of a syllable,
It makes
it says its alphabet name, its letter name, and we call it an open syllable because vowels are open phonemes. Okay? So you now know 3 of the 6 syllable types. Okay? And so syllable types are pretty easy peasy once you know your vowels, aren't they? Okay. Any questions or comments about this today? Okay.